I don't need some fake father like you coming to my wedding. So can you go ahead and stay home? Well, that's only if you were planning on coming in the first place.
What are you talking about, Ray? What do you mean by me being a fake father?
I'm talking about you not being my real father. Have you really started to think that you're actually my real father of all things? I have never thought of you as my father, and I never ever will.
But I have been raising you like a father for the past 20 years now. So I assume that made me pretty close to the real deal for you. Why are you speaking about how I'm not your father now of all times? I know that for the past few months, things between you and I have been a little cold. But I just assumed that was due to you being busy with your wedding preparations. Did something happen to you that made you stop thinking of me as your father?
I just came around to realizing that you aren't my real father after all, and that it's dumb of me to continue having you around me like you are my father. Nobody wants someone who's fake to them to be around them for the rest of their life, right?
Why do you keep calling me a fake like that, though? I understand that you're not related to me by blood or anything, but I have been married to your mother for 20 years now, and have made sure to spend a lot of time raising you as my own. And your wedding coming up has gotten me very excited for you, and I wanted to be there to celebrate it. But now you're telling me that you don't want me there at all?
That is so disgusting of you to say.
Huh? Disgusting of me to say? Is that really something you should be saying to one of your parents?
And I thought I just told you that I don't think of you as my father anymore, and I will never think of you that way again. I'm Mom's baby, but I know for a fact that I am not yours. I'm thinking that with this wedding, I'm going to cut ties to you for good.
Now you're planning on cutting ties to me too? I have been with your mother forever now. So does this mean you'll be cutting ties to her as well then? Do you not feel that you're taking things way overboard right now?
I don't plan on cutting ties to Mom, though. I'll just make sure that when you're around her, I stay away and come back to visit her another time. That's how badly I'm wanting to cut ties to you, all right?
I never thought that you'd ever be wanting something like that, Ray. What did I ever do that led you to think of me, your father, this way?
It's not that you did anything in particular to me. Rather, I just realized that you really are nothing more than a stranger to me. When you got married, you just assumed that you became a part of my family? Well, what I'm saying here is that that's not the case at all, and that you're not my family.
You don't have to say anything like that to me. I get that I'm not related to you by blood, and that I married your mom after you were already around. But that never stopped me from wanting to raise you like you were my own daughter. I had assumed you had always saw things the same way. I plan on being around for your wedding, alright? Even if it's just me, just showing my face for a brief second. I'd like to say a few words to you as well then.
Did something end up happening between you and Ray? I was just told by her that while you're around me, she has no plans of coming back home to see me. Don't you find that a little strange of her to be saying?
I was just texting with her a second ago. She told me not to come to her wedding.
What? What is going on now?
I'm not really sure what's gotten into her this time, but it seems she has some reasoning behind it. These past few months, she's seemed pretty cold towards me, and I'm starting to think there really is something about me she doesn't like.
But for so long now, you and her have been really close to one another, right? Yet now she's calling you a fake father to her, like she's never been around you before? I really am wondering what happened to her that's led her to think that way about you.
I'm not sure myself yet, but she's still young, and that's the way things are with young people sometimes. Maybe this is due to her becoming an adult now, and all the stress that surrounds her.
Maybe so. But I'm really hoping that there's something more solid as her reasoning. Wait. Oh, there is something I might have forgotten to mention, which could be what's wrong with her.
What did you never mention to me?
Oh, this has to do with my ex-husband, of all people.
What? Your ex-husband? Did something happen between him and Ray?
There is no seat prepared for you at this wedding, so go home already.
You have been saying that to me non-stop now. But are you really sure you want that from me? I have been the man watching over you like you've been my daughter for the past 20 years. I should be closer to you than your actual father.
And so what? I figured out that having a blood relationship is far more important to me than having been around someone for 20 years.
So you really are being serious about all this. Your mother brought you along when we married. But I gave my all, making sure to raise you the best I could. It's a shame that things had to change between you and I so quickly, and just before your wedding.
Shut up already. I don't want to listen to you going on and on anymore. I am not going to listen to whatever you say, and my feelings about all of this will never change. I've invited my real father to be here with me today, so get the hell out of here, you fake!
Your real father? Did you really invite your real father to your own wedding? When were you able to get in touch with him? Did you ever even talk with your mother before doing something like that? Do you have any idea what you've just done?
I don't have to listen to you go on about how what I'm doing is wrong. He is my actual dad, so you can just shut your mouth and go away. And remember that today is the day where I'm cutting ties to you for good. I have the real deal around me now, so there's no point in having some fake father buzzing in my ear still like a bug.
You've already gone ahead and asked me to leave your wedding, and told me that you're cutting ties to me. But do you have any idea what all of that will mean for you in the coming days? I'm sure you don't, do you? You're going to regret what all you've done here today.
Why would I ever regret cutting ties to a fake like you? I am 100% confident I'm doing the right thing right now, and there will be nothing that can stop me. I am finally going to be able to meet my real dad in person today. So go away. If you don't, I'm going to have to ask my real dad to deal with you in person. You wouldn't want that for yourself, right? He happens to love me a lot as well, and I don't want him having to see you around me trying to act like you mean anything to me.
So that's how far you're wanting to take this.
I get that you did your best to get close to me while I've been a child, but this is going to be it between us, all right? A fake father who has no blood relation to me is to leave my wedding at once. If you don't leave this place before my dad gets here, then I'm going to call the police and have them take you away. Is that what you want me to do?
All right. I'll go home.
And make sure that you never talk or come near me again, okay?
I can do that for you. That's what you want me to do after all, right? So I'll go ahead and do that and leave your life for good. But remember, once you start to regret the decisions you've made here today, don't bother coming back crying to me. I am not going to listen to you beg for my help, and I sure won't bother with you again.
Huh? Who the hell do you think wants your help? You're just a fake. Good job trying to be my father for the past 20 years, but your time is up, and it's time for me to have the real deal in my life now. You're nothing to me now, you stupid man.
Well, if that's how you're going to say your goodbye, then there's nothing left for me to say. Then this is really it between us. I'll make sure we never have any ties to one another again. Goodbye forever, Ray. And thank you for all of the good memories. Congratulations on your wedding, and I hope you have a wonderful life with your husband. What is it? This is your third time calling me now, right? I'm not answering you again, alright? I'm going to drive home now, so don't expect to hear anything from me ever again.
Please, hurry up and come back to my wedding.
Huh? You want me to come back to the wedding now? Even though half an hour ago you were going off on me about how I'm nothing to you anymore. I'm not some toy for you to play with, Ray. Don't you dare think that you can just do and say whatever you want to me.
That is not the problem we should be focused on right now. Things have gone downhill for me very fast here.
But shouldn't you be celebrating your wedding right now? Nothing should have gone down that quickly for you, when today is supposed to be one of the most important days ever for you and your fiancé. What happened?
Today has been the first time I've ever been able to meet my real dad in person, but I found out he is crazy.
He's crazy?
I found out that for the past 20 years, he's been a part of this crazy gang. I never thought that my actual dad would turn out to be a man like this. What the hell am I going to do about him? I was never told that he was a part of a drug gang. He told me that the only reason he was never able to come and meet me is because for the past 20 years, he's been in prison serving time. What should I do here? He's here with members of his gang.
Well, you say that like you never meant to invite him and his gang today. Why are you so upset about how things turned out for you now?
Wait, did you know that he's been a part of a gang this whole time?
Of course I've known about him. And your mom has known about him as well. All the crap he's done while in that gang. Him being in that gang and having gone to prison is the reason your mom never talked about him with you. Ever. But you've really done it this time. Finding out about the real person that he is on the day of your wedding.
Mom never knew that I had been talking with him for the past few months. And when he came to the wedding hall, she panicked and ran off.
Well, I don't blame her for doing that. She probably never expected that her own daughter of all people would be the one to have a real father come to her wedding. Then he's a known criminal and part of a drug gang that's known for killing people. He also happens to be someone she doesn't want to be around whatsoever, so it's fair to her to have run like that. I've been thinking about how something bad might go down at your wedding. So I've been waiting for a little bit now to call the police and have them go to your wedding.
The police? You've been thinking things could get that badly out of hand this whole time now?
Well, of course I have been. That man that you call your real father happens to be crazy. He has been in prison for 2 decades now, right? Do you have any idea what the reason for him serving that much time might be? I'm sure you can imagine some reasons for it.
What? There's no way, right?
It's not something that I can really say to you myself. So just think of what he's done, and it's probably true.
The groom's guests are all freaking out right now because of him. If my dad doesn't leave really soon here, then something really bad is going to happen to my wedding. I know now that you are my real father after all, so can you please come back here right now and do something about that freak?
Do you have any idea what you're saying to me right now?
You can go ahead and forget everything I was saying about you before, all right? You and I have been family for the past 20 years now, so you still have huge feelings for me as your daughter, right?
I did have massive feelings for you as my daughter. And that's why I had raised you like my own for so long. But who was it that just stomped all over those feelings I had into a pulp? And then told me they wanted to cut ties forever? To me, you and I are nothing to one another anymore. So I'm going to give you a hard no on that stupid request to go back there.
What? No. What do you mean, no?
I am not going to go back to that wedding of yours. And since I'm no longer your father anymore, I can't lie to you about any of this.
Right now, the wedding is being put on hold until I go out there and talk with my real dad about what's going on here. I'm being told that the groom's family is wanting this wedding canceled and that they are all starting to leave now. What am I going to do about all of this? I'm trying to hide in the women's bathroom right now so that my real dad can't get me, but he's waiting out there for me because he really wants to talk. If nothing is done about all of this, then the wedding really is going to be canceled. Dad, please come here and help me fix this.
Do not start calling me Dad now, just because the tables have turned on you so quickly. Go ask your real father to help you out. I'm sure he's open to doing that for you. I'm just a fake is all, and I was already told by you that you never want me coming around you ever again.
But at the time, I never knew my real dad was part of some drug gang. He just started to text me one day saying he was my real dad and that he wanted to be a part of my life again. He never said anything to me about some gang or his time in prison, so none of this can be blamed on me now, right? I never knew anything about the man he really is then. I was just tempted into wanting him to be my father because he said he was the real deal.
No, this is all your fault actually. You were the one that decided to keep talking to him for so long, and thought it would be a good idea inviting him to the wedding without ever telling your mom first. All you had to do was ask your mom who your real father really was, and none of this would have ever happened to you. I'm sorry, but you're not going to get out of this by trying to push that blame off onto someone else.
I just thought the reason my mom never told me anything about my real dad for the past 20 years was all a part of her plans to make me think of you as my real father. And that's why I went ahead and wanted you to leave me alone and for my real dad to come back for me. None of what's happening to me right now was supposed to happen. Do something about him. If anything, this was all your fault to begin with.
Did I not just tell you to not push your blame onto someone else like that? Why do you think you have any right blaming me for what you've gone and done there? I'm sorry, Ray, but I have nothing to do with you now. I was trying to warn you not to push me away like you did, but you chose to never listen to me. And now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you're trying to come crying back to me over it? You really are such a brainless little baby.
Brainless baby? Do you really think calling me that right now is going to help anything for me?
I wanted to help you out by steering you away from this path, but it's too late for you now. I don't even want to talk with you about any of your problems anymore, Ray.
What do you mean? You cannot be that rude to me now, all right?
I'm just being honest about how I'm feeling now.
Why is that how you really feel about me now, though? You have to help me. You have to listen to me, and there is no reason why you should be thinking otherwise. You have been the one to raise me for the past 20 years now, so shouldn't you be wanting to help me?
And a little bit ago, you said what to me? That you wanted to cut ties to me forever?
Those were just words at the time. You shouldn't be taking what I said before to you that seriously, all right?
But I've already told you how I feel now, right? That you have your real father back.